The days have passed really quickly in the IOM European Championship here in the Croatian island of Cres. But that's how it's often with such exciting sailing events. On this second to last day, the weather conditions are extremely light. This will pose a few challenges to the competitors gathered here. But let's hear a few words from Tonci Stepanovic, who finished 4th in the London Olympics in the laser class and is also competing here in the IOMs.
This is like first European Championship in models for me. Until now I sailed maybe few races in these small boats, and it's total different feeling and sailing comparing to laser, because in laser you are sitting in the boat deciding, you have more time to decide. Racing area is much bigger, and here everything is small, happens very quickly, and you have to decide in the second. If you didn't trim your boat in 1 millimeter on one side, then boat is not going straight, and it's very hard to compete, and especially if you don't have feeling and you don't train. Like every other sport, if you don't train, you cannot be good.
The Croatians had a strong opening today too. In the 11th race for Heat B, Kovacevic and Vukas started in the middle in great form. But soon it was Britain's Bantock and Rossignol from France who benefited most from the right shift. They both rounded on top at the weather mark. Rossignol further closed the distance during downwind. When they reached the gate, he was less than a boat length behind Bantock. In the second upwind, the French approached the coast more and this way managed to cross ahead of Bantock. But they remained both quite close. In the final stretch, however, Rossignol kept his lead, and so he scored the bullet. In Heat A, the Croatian Jelacic started really well on windward. Britain's Brad Gibson, however, put in a competitive performance in this race. So when they reached the mark, he was in the lead. During downwind, Gibson managed to extend his lead, but it was Jelacic that has now climbed in second place behind him. And these positions remained unchanged during the second upwind. It looked very likely Gibson would go for another bullet. And he sure did at the end. The Briton is on fire in this championship. Sweden's Brunhage was first on the pin end. After crossing the fleet, he headed to the right side of the course. Soon enough, he was leading the race together with Croatia's Stepanovic. After the downwind, Stepanovic chose the left gate and headed to the same side of the course. But this now gave Brunhage the chance to extend the distance between the two. Somewhat helped by a significant drop in the wind at this stage of the race, Britain's Graham Elliott succeeding in slipping into second place. Stepanovic would not let him stay there, however. He fought fiercely, and in the end he reclaimed his spot after Brunhage. When it comes to the overall results on this penultimate day of the IOM Europeans here in Cres, we can see that Brad Gibson retains the top spot at the leaderboard. But it's now Zvonko Jelacic that has moved to second place, and Graham Elliott has fallen behind in third position overall. But even though we now reach the end of a very successful championship in wonderful Croatia, things are still close and may yet change a lot on the final day tomorrow.